some tips about how to do it, because this is a difficult function. You know, 2 or 3 years ago we didn't have a grammarian in our club. It was one of the last functions to put in a session because we didn't know how to do it. We tried, but everything seems perfect. We weren't training to listen to what people were telling wrong. We only have sessions in Portuguese, and we only thought people were perfect talking. So this was something new at the time. Right now I think we are on another stage, but it will be interesting to hear what Afonso will have to say about this function. So, an applause for Afonso, please.
I have this. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
How to be a grammarian in Toastmasters. In my opinion, I think the grammarian role is one of the most important roles on a Toastmaster meeting. I can honestly say that without him, the meeting will be very obnubilated. So it makes me question, why do we do it? How can we be prepared to do it? Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, I'm here tonight to try to show you how we do, why do we do it, and how can we be prepared. On taking this role, you'll benefit a lot, because if you imagine, you have to listen very carefully in every speech. And not only, you have to make a comment on what you have heard. So it's very, very important. And, I'm sorry, the Grammarian gives us feedback on every part of our use of language, and it prizes us for our wonderful rhetoric when we use it, as well as encourage us to overcome our bad habits. So, I'm going to announce 2 main aspects of the grammar. The first one is to introduce us new words. Luis Moreira introduced us a very good one, as well as prepare very well with a paper there and give us for the first time some paper. So it was very good, Luis. So introducing new words and deliver us the report after the meeting. In every roles in the Toastmaster, you have to prepare for 3 main aspects. Before the meeting, there is a lot of work to do. During the meeting, and after the meeting. If you can accomplish all these 3 aspects, I can guarantee that you'll have success and you can have this face after the role. So, first step, word of the day. You have to choose the word, you have to make an introduction, and note who used that word. When you choose that word, you have to choose words that are helpful in our day life. Okay, you can choose beautiful. Yes, it's a common word. So it has to be a word that improves our skills when you use it every day. You can choose adjectives because they are good. Imagine this. The restaurant was good. What was good? The cuisine was fresh and attractive. The waiters were very friendly, they were very polite. So we need more details. So adjectives that are very good. Honestly, it's one of the aspects that I try to improve too. Verbs, I can use it as well. Take this example. I left the room. You can say this in 2 different ways. I raced out of the room, or I crept out of the room. There are strong words. When you make the introduction, like we already made, you have to describe the words. You have to give the examples how you use it and encourage us to use it. And of course, don't forget this paper. Honestly, I recommend to put one here, larger, and in the back too, as well. I think the most important one is this one, because it's the speaker that has to present it. And of course, in the end, you have to note who said the word, and sometimes you can say how many times he uses, because we are getting better. We are using the word more often, but there are people that use it like 3 times in different ways. So it's good to say who did that. This is the word of the day. The other part is to perform a report on the language. So, first step, listen very carefully, take notes, and present your report in the end. When you are listening, you have basically to write down the awkward words. I write English Portuguese because this is an English session, but we are Portuguese. And the rhetorical, devices used by the speakers. I think when a grammarian, because he has short time, he normally, not tonight, it's common, it normally only gives us the bad things as well, but you can use the good things. Rhetoric is very strong. They are, like it says there, it's very vitality and color. So it's good to announce that. And the rhetoric you can use is alliteration, assonance, anaphora, metaphor, and similes. Alliteration is when you repeat a sound in nearby words, like what my wife wanted. Assonance is when you repeat the vowel sounds. Vowels. Between the nearby words, like how now brown cow. Anaphora, it's when, like Steve Jobs said that in 2005. He said, stay angry, stay foolish. It's when you repeat a phrase or sentence in a successive way. Sentence. Yeah. Metaphor is when two unconnected things are connected and have a meaning. And similes is quite like metaphors, but with different words, like Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolates. When you take notes, it's very important. You can use sheets like the timekeeper has. Okay, you have the sheet, sorry. There is one for the timekeeper. He just has to write down and fill the places. We can try to make one for the grammarian. I don't know if it is good or not, but we can try to make one. Because it's very important. I take notes, I take a lot of notes, and sometimes I get lost when I'm trying to say the words to people. So it's this is a very important part. And of course have a pen, or you can use a laptop, now in the 21st century. And I never see anyone to bring a dictionary. But yes, you have internet to dictionary as well. But sometimes it's good for me in English because I have more difficulties in trying to get words, and dictionary is a good thing to bring. And because you have a short time, it's very important to focus on 1 or 2 sentences. Normally, grammarian pass over time because it's very hard. You have a lot of things to say, you want to say everything you have, but you have time in the end of the meeting to talk with the person and say the other things you want to say. So try to keep the time. When you present your presentation, your comments, in beginning you have to briefly explain the rule. You have to report the word of the day and have to report of all the language you said in the end. So, in conclusion, I would like to read this loud because it's very important, and I will advise you strongly to take more often this rule. I try to avoid it because I'm not very comfortable in a grammarian, and an English grammarian, it's it's crazy for me, but I think it's important for us to take the step and take the Grammarian world more often, because it's both rewarding and educational. It will help you become a speaker as well as better listening, because Toastmaster mission, if you know, is to help us in the art of speaking, listening, and thinking. The Grammarian role help us to be a better listener. And to conclude, volunteer to be a grammarian at a meeting, learn and grow as I try to. Thank you.